Today, Minnie is very happy since morning as her favorite Jiggy auntie will be returning back from leave tomorrow.
Work the whole day in their fields withstanding the scorching heat of the sun and dust? They will either be sowing the seeds for the new crop or will be cutting the crop grown, which is called as harvesting. Now, it's the season of winter. Your Jiggy auntie has gone to harvest groundnuts in her fields. All the family members of Jiggy work in the fields to earn their livelihood. All of them become very busy during harvesting or sowing seasons as there will be lot of work in the fields. You know, Minnie, it's not that Jiggy has a big field to cultivate. She goes just to make some extra money in these seasons. People like Jiggy and her family work on someone else's fields. The owners of the fields pay the workers daily wages for the amount of work done by them. As Jiggy and her family do not work round the year in the fields, so she comes to the town during off seasons to work in her homes to earn a livelihood. As you see, it is difficult to survive in this world with such sky-rising prices of essential commodities. Moreover, she also has to bear the expenses of her child's school fees and books. So, Jiggy has to work in different ways all the year to make her home running smoothly. Again, there is problem for these people as they do not get equal wages for the work done by them. Generally, the women workers earn rupees 70 to 80 per day, whereas the men workers get rupees 120 per day. During the harvest or sowing seasons, the women laborers get rupees 120 to 150 and the men workers get rupees 150 to 200 per day. This disparity is because of the thinking of people that women cannot put in that much of physical hard work as men can do. But this conception is wrong under most of the circumstances. Because of this disparity in wages, some people like to do jobs which are managed by the government. The job involves making roads or canals, etc. There they get uniform wages at the rate of rupees 120 per day for both men and women. Similarly, in other non-agricultural activities, that of loading and unloading of sand or bricks, and in construction work, they get a little more, rupees 200 to 250 for men and rupees 200 per day for women. Again, the problem is that these jobs are not permanent and moreover, very few people get a chance to work. You know, Minnie, there are some specialized labor works. You very well know that she hails from a small village in Andhra Pradesh. Nearly 2/5 of all rural families are mainly agricultural laborers in Andhra Pradesh. Of these, very few have land, and the rest are landless. As I told you earlier, earnings are higher in non-agricultural jobs, but these jobs are scarce. That is why people like Jiggy migrate to nearby towns and cities in search of jobs during off seasons. During this period, that is in February, Jiggy has gone to harvest the groundnut crop. There, she works on others' farms along with the neighbors and other family members. The men workers are employed there to uproot the whole groundnut plant to gather bundle and to carry these bundles to a set place, while women workers are engaged to pluck the groundnut pods from the plants. Most of the people in Jiggy's village do not send their children to school or colleges or stop them at a later stage, as they are not able to afford the school fees of their wards. Therefore, all the people work on the fields, including the school dropout children. Some farmers, in spite of owning land, are not able to produce well, either because of bad irrigation facility or because of poor financial condition, which makes them incapable for buying quality seeds, fertilizers, etc. Last time, Jiggy told me that some farmers having bowels in their fields were able to cultivate 2 crops in a year, which helped people like Jiggy as they had work in these fields. But now, water level has gone further deep, forcing the landowners to cultivate only 1 crop in a year. You know, Minnie, not only this, but there is again a problem with money for farmers to buy seeds, fertilizers, pesticides, agricultural equipment, etc. Mostly, the village farmers rely on private money lenders for taking loan to fulfill all their agricultural related requirements. It is always costly for them to take money from such money lenders because these private money lenders either charge very heavy interests from such farmers or take a big share of their produce at very low rates. The reality is that a good produce and harvest depends on the quality of seeds, use of fertilizers, and use of proper techniques. If any one of these is denied or suffers a lapse, then it directly affects the produce, which in turn affects the farmer. The farmers are not able to repay their loans in time, and the money lenders take farmers' harvest at a prefixed lower price. This further worsens the situation, and then the farmers are forced to take more loan to sustain themselves and their families.
Nowadays, farmers have found a small way to overcome such problems to some extent. They are entering into contract farming with companies for production and supply of some special crops. But this format is still not widespread and is available only in some parts in Andhra Pradesh. Companies here have made agreements with farmers to cultivate crops like palm, rice, cucumbers, cocoa, gooseberry, maize, groundnut, soya bean, cotton and chilies.
Minnie, let me tell you something about contract farming. In this type of contract farming, companies advise farmers to follow specific farming practices and also provide financial support. Companies buy the harvest at a predetermined price and pay the farmers after deducting the input cost incurred by the companies. Such companies then use this produce as raw materials for making their own products like oil, chips, sauces or medicines. Then they export such manufactured product to other countries or supply some to domestic consumers.
Farmers generally are assured of the prices of the harvest and also receive the advance for the inputs to be used. Hence, farmers are in favor of this type of farming than any other. Let me tell you another fact here that the type of crops mainly grown under this type of farming is known as commercial crops. I have just now told you the examples of the same. The only risk that the farmers face here is of poor harvest. When the harvest is of not the desired quality as per the agreement, then the companies may refuse to take the crop and hence no payment.